Welcome to US Coins World, where hidden treasures of American history come to life. Today, we're diving into one of the most iconic coins ever minted in the United States, the Washington Quarter. This coin may look ordinary at first glance, but some rare versions, mint errors, and special dates have turned simple pocket change into valuable collectibles. Stay with us as we uncover what makes certain Washington quarters rare, how to spot them, and why collectors are willing to pay big money for the right one. Check your change, you might be holding a piece of history worth far more than you think. Top 1. Today we're diving into a truly iconic and historic piece of American numismatics, the 1776 to 1976 Washington Bicentennial Quarter. At first glance, it might appear to be just another quarter in circulation, but for collectors, it represents a fascinating celebration of America's 200th anniversary and is considered one of the most collectible Washington quarters ever minted. From its unique design to rare errors and variations, this quarter is a coin lover's dream. By the end of this video, you'll understand why certain 1776 to 1976 Washington Bicentennial quarters can be worth an astonishing $81,000. The Washington Quarter has been a staple of American coinage since 1932, originally struck to commemorate the 200th birthday of George Washington. However, the 1776 to 1976 Bicentennial Quarter is special because it celebrates an entirely different milestone, the United States Bicentennial. The coin features a striking reverse design of a colonial drummer boy, with a victory torch and 12 stars encircling the design to represent the original 13 colonies. This was the only Washington quarter ever minted with a dual date, 1776 to 1976, marking the nation's bicentennial. The obverse still showcases George Washington's familiar profile, but with subtle design adjustments to complement the commemorative reverse. While millions of bicentennial quarters were minted for circulation in 1975 and 1976, several factors make specific coins exceptionally rare. First, let's talk about mint marks. The bicentennial quarters were produced in Philadelphia, no mint mark, Denver, D, and San Francisco, S. While the majority of coins were mass-produced for general circulation, the San Francisco Mint produced special proof coins with high-quality finishes, which are particularly sought after by collectors. These proof coins exhibit a mirror-like surface and crisp, detailed designs, making them far more valuable than ordinary circulated coins. Error coins are another reason why the 1776 to 1976 Washington Quarter is so desirable. Some bicentennial quarters display double dies on the obverse or reverse, creating a visually captivating effect where letters, numbers, or design elements appear doubled. Other coins may have off-center strikes, misaligned dies, or missing design details, transforming what might seem like a minor flaw into a rare collector's treasure. These errors occurred during the minting process and are highly prized because they are unique and often occur in limited numbers. Another fascinating aspect of these quarters is their composition. Standard circulation bicentennial quarters were struck in a clad composition, combining layers of copper and nickel. However, some special proof issues and early release varieties occasionally have differences in metallic content or plating, and these subtle differences can significantly affect a coin's value. Collectors carefully inspect the surface, weight, and luster of each quarter to determine authenticity and rarity. Condition is a critical factor in determining the value of a bicentennial quarter. Circulated coins often show signs of wear, such as flattened details, scratches, or dulled surfaces. Uncirculated coins, on the other hand, maintain crisp designs and a vibrant luster, and when combined with rare errors or special mintings, they can fetch impressive sums. Collectors prize coins in pristine condition because they preserve the historical and aesthetic qualities that make these quarters collectible. The historical significance of the 1776 to 1976 quarter cannot be overstated. It symbolizes 2 centuries of American history and serves as a reminder of the nation's founding ideals. For collectors, owning a piece like this is not only an investment but also a tangible connection to the country's past. It's a coin that embodies artistry, history, and numismatic intrigue all in one small, copper-nickel disc. So what is the value of a rare 1776 to 1976 Washington Bicentennial Quarter? While most circulated examples remain at face value or slightly above, certain uncirculated coins, proof issues, and coins with notable errors can command remarkable prices. A particularly rare and exceptional specimen of this quarter can reach an extraordinary $81,000, making it one of the most sought-after Washington quarters for collectors. Top 2. We are exploring a fascinating piece of American numismatic history, the 1967 Washington quarter. While it may seem like a simple coin at first glance, this quarter holds a special allure for collectors due to its unique minting characteristics, historical significance, and occasional rare errors. By the end of this video, you'll understand why certain 1967 Washington quarters are so highly coveted and why a remarkable specimen can reach an astounding $79,000. The Washington quarter has been a mainstay of U.S. coinage since 1932, initially created to commemorate the 200th anniversary of George Washington's birth. The 1967 issue comes from a transitional period in U.S. coin history, just before the nation switched fully to a clad composition in 1965 for circulation coins. By 1967, quarters were made with a copper-nickel clad composition instead of the traditional 90% silver used in earlier coins. This change makes the 1967 quarter historically significant, marking the beginning of a new era in U.S. coinage and giving collectors insight into the evolving practices of the U.S. Mint. One of the key points that makes the 1967 Washington quarter appealing to collectors is its rarity in certain conditions and versions. While millions were minted for circulation, some coins escaped heavy wear and retained nearly pristine details. Coins in uncirculated condition from this year, particularly those with full luster and sharp features, are extremely desirable. Even more intriguing are the coins exhibiting minting errors, which can dramatically increase their value. Some of the most sought-after 1967 Washington quarters feature die errors, such as double dies, where lettering or numbers appear slightly duplicated, or off-center strikes, where part of the design is missing from its proper position. Other rare varieties include weak strikes or planchet defects, which create subtle irregularities that can make an ordinary quarter extraordinarily collectible. These errors are rare because they occurred due to unusual minting conditions, making each affected coin a unique piece of history. Another interesting aspect of the 1967 Washington quarter is its composition. As a copper-nickel clad coin, it consists of an outer layer of 75% copper and 25% nickel bonded to a pure copper core. Unlike the silver quarters struck before 1965, these coins have a distinct weight and sound, which makes them instantly recognizable to seasoned collectors. The transition from silver to clad also means that coins from this period are a fascinating study in how coinage evolved in response to economic and material changes. Condition plays a crucial role in determining a 1967 quarter's value. While circulated coins often show signs of wear such as smoothed surfaces or minor scratches, uncirculated coins maintain their original luster and design integrity. Proof coins, struck with extra care for collectors, can also command higher prices, especially if they were part of a limited minting batch or exhibit any unusual errors. Collectors carefully examine these coins under magnification to identify minute imperfections, unique die markings, or unusual toning, all of which can significantly impact value. The 1967 Washington quarter also carries historical significance beyond its material composition. It represents a pivotal time in American history, the late 1960s, when the nation was undergoing social, political, and economic changes. For collectors, owning a coin from this period is like holding a small piece of history in your hand. It serves as both a numismatic treasure and a historical artifact, bridging the past with the present. So, what makes a 1967 Washington quarter truly remarkable in today's market? Exceptional uncirculated examples, proof coins with flawless surfaces, and coins displaying rare minting errors are the most coveted. The combination of historical importance, unique design, and scarcity in pristine condition makes these quarters highly desirable among collectors. A truly outstanding 1967 Washington quarter can achieve an impressive market value of $79,000, making it a prized addition to any serious coin collection. Top 3. We're diving into an iconic piece of American numismatic history, the 1971 Washington quarter. At first glance, it may seem like an everyday coin, but for collectors, this quarter is a fascinating specimen due to its minting history, potential errors, and the allure of rarity. By the end of this video, you'll understand why certain 1971 Washington quarters are highly coveted and why a particularly remarkable example can reach an astonishing $75,000. The Washington quarter has been a staple of U.S. coinage since 1932, initially created to honor the 200th anniversary of George Washington's birth. The 1971 issue comes from a period when the U.S. Mint was producing copper-nickel-clad quarters for circulation, following the discontinuation of 90% silver quarters in 1965. This makes the 1971 quarter a significant marker in U.S. coinage history, representing a fully clad era, yet still retaining the classic design elements that collectors cherish. One of the reasons collectors are fascinated by the 1971 Washington quarter is the presence of rare minting errors and exceptional uncirculated specimens. While millions of these quarters were produced, a few escaped heavy circulation and maintained their original sharp details, full luster, and flawless surfaces. These coins are often the ones that command the highest prices at auctions or in private collections. Minting errors are another compelling aspect of this coin. For the 1971 Washington quarter, some of the most sought-after errors include double dies, where letters or numbers appear slightly duplicated, creating a visually striking effect. Off-center strikes, where part of the design is missing or misaligned, also make certain quarters extraordinarily collectible. Other unusual varieties, such as weak strikes, die cracks, or planchet defects, contribute to the rarity and desirability of specific 1971 quarters. Each of these imperfections tells a unique story about the minting process and offers collectors a one-of-a-kind piece of history. The composition of the 1971 Washington quarter is another factor that adds to its appeal. Made of a copper core clad with 75% copper and 25% nickel, these quarters have a distinct weight and sound, differentiating them from the pre-1965 silver issues. Collectors often appreciate this era as it bridges the gap between traditional silver coinage and modern clad coins, capturing an interesting transition in U.S. numismatics. Condition remains critical when evaluating the value of a 1971 Washington quarter. Circulated coins, which show normal wear such as minor scratches, nicks, or smoothing of the design, are common and hold moderate collector interest. However, uncirculated coins that have been carefully preserved over decades are much rarer and often highly sought after. Proof coins, specially struck for collectors with extra attention to detail, also play a significant role in determining market value. These coins may exhibit flawless surfaces, mirror-like fields, and sharp designs that make them stand out even among other uncirculated specimens. Beyond the physical characteristics, the 1971 Washington quarter carries historical significance. The early 1970s in the United States was a period of social and cultural transformation. Owning a coin from this era allows collectors to hold a tangible piece of history, connecting them with a time when the nation was evolving economically, politically, and culturally. For many, collecting coins is not just about rarity or monetary value. It's about preserving a piece of history and appreciating the artistry and craftsmanship of the U.S. Mint. So, what makes a 1971 Washington quarter truly extraordinary today? Exceptional uncirculated examples, proof coins with pristine surfaces, and coins with rare minting errors are among the most prized. The combination of historical importance, unique design features, and scarcity in top condition makes these quarters highly desirable among collectors. A truly exceptional 1971 Washington quarter can command a remarkable market value of $75,000, making it a coveted treasure for serious collectors. Top 4. We're exploring a truly fascinating piece of American numismatic history, the 1972 Washington quarter. While it may look like a common coin at first glance, there's so much more to this quarter than meets the eye. From rare minting errors to exceptional uncirculated examples, the 1972 Washington quarter has captured the attention of collectors worldwide. By the end of this video, you'll understand why a particularly remarkable specimen can reach an astonishing $72,000. The Washington quarter has been a staple of U.S. coinage since 1932, originally introduced to commemorate the 200th anniversary of George Washington's birth. By 1972, the coin was firmly established as a circulating quarter, featuring the iconic portrait of Washington on the obverse and the classic eagle design on the reverse. However, this era is particularly interesting for collectors because it sits squarely in the clad coinage period. Following the discontinuation of silver quarters in 1965, quarters from 1965 onward were produced with a copper core clad with 75% copper and 25% nickel. This change marked an important transition in U.S. coinage, bridging the gap between classic silver coins and modern clad coins. What makes the 1972 Washington quarter especially intriguing to collectors are the errors and varieties that emerged during the minting process. One of the most sought-after varieties from this year is the double die obverse, where certain letters or numerals appear doubled. These double dies are visually striking and highly collectible because they are unintentional mistakes, making each coin unique. Other notable errors include off-center strikes, weak strikes, and die cracks. Even a small planchet imperfection can make a coin stand out in a collector's eyes. Each error tells a story about the minting process, adding a layer of historical intrigue to these coins that goes beyond mere monetary value. The condition of a 1972 Washington quarter plays a huge role in its value. Circulated coins, which may show the typical signs of wear such as flattened details, scratches, or nicks, are more common and generally hold modest collector interest. However, uncirculated coins that have retained their original mint luster, sharp details, and flawless surfaces are incredibly rare. These coins are often graded at the highest levels and can command significant prices in auctions. Proof coins, struck with extra care for collectors, also add to the allure of this year's Washington quarters. With their mirror-like surfaces and intricate details, proof examples from 1972 are highly prized and often become centerpiece coins in collections. Another interesting aspect of the 1972 Washington quarter is the historical context it represents. The early 1970s were a time of change in the United States, with social, political, and economic transformations shaping the nation. Owning a coin from this era allows collectors to hold a tangible piece of history, connecting them with a specific moment in time. Collecting coins is not just about rarity or investment potential, it's also about preserving a story, appreciating craftsmanship, and connecting with the past. Collectors also appreciate the artistry of the 1972 Washington quarter. Designed with meticulous attention to detail, the portrait of George Washington has remained largely unchanged since its introduction, and the reverse eagle design continues to symbolize strength and national pride. Coins that have retained their full details, crisp lines, and original luster are especially desirable. A coin in pristine condition can instantly become the crown jewel of a collection, showcasing both historical significance and aesthetic appeal. In addition to minting errors, historical importance, and visual appeal, scarcity plays a critical role in the value of the 1972 Washington quarter. Millions of these quarters were produced for circulation, but very few have survived decades of handling in uncirculated condition. Coins that have been carefully preserved, especially those with unique errors or proof-like characteristics, are extremely rare. These factors combine to make certain 1972 Washington quarters highly sought after by collectors and investors alike. Why is this coin particularly special in today's market? The combination of rarity, condition, potential minting errors, and historical significance makes the 1972 Washington quarter a true collector's gem. A top-quality, error-free, or uniquely struck coin from this year can command an impressive market value of $72,000, making it one of the most desirable quarters for serious numismatists. Top 5. We're diving into the fascinating world of the 1973 Washington quarter, a coin that may appear ordinary at first glance but holds incredible value and intrigue for collectors. This coin is a remarkable piece of American numismatic history, and by the end of this video, you'll understand why a high-quality or error coin from this year can reach an astonishing $70,000. The Washington quarter has been a staple of U.S. coinage since its introduction in 1932, honoring the 200th anniversary of George Washington's birth. By 1973, the quarter had long been established in circulation, featuring the iconic profile of George Washington on the obverse and the majestic eagle on the reverse. However, this era belongs to the clad coinage period. After 1965, quarters were no longer made with silver. Instead, they were produced with a copper core clad with 75% copper and 25% nickel. While this change was made for economic reasons, it also created a distinct era that collectors find particularly fascinating. What makes the 1973 Washington quarter truly captivating is the rarity and variety of errors that occasionally appear. Collectors are drawn to coins with double dies, where letters or numerals appear doubled due to misalignment during the minting process. These coins are highly sought after because each double die is unique, creating a visual and historical curiosity. Other notable errors include off-center strikes, die cracks, and planchet imperfections, which can make an otherwise ordinary coin extraordinarily valuable. Each error tells a story about the minting process and the human element behind it, adding layers of intrigue and collectability. Condition plays a crucial role in the value of the 1973 Washington quarter. Circulated coins, which often show signs of wear, flattened details, or scratches, are fairly common and may hold modest collector interest. Uncirculated coins, on the other hand, are a different story. Coins that have retained their original mint luster, sharp details, and flawless surfaces are exceptionally rare. High-grade examples are often sought after by serious collectors and can command significant prices. Proof coins, carefully struck for collectors with a mirror-like finish, are also highly desirable and can become centerpiece coins in a collection. The historical context of the 1973 Washington quarter adds to its allure. The early 1970s were a time of significant social and economic change in the United States. Owning a coin from this year allows collectors to hold a tangible piece of history, a snapshot of a nation in transition. Collecting coins is not just about rarity or monetary value, it's about connecting with the past, appreciating the artistry of the mint, and preserving history in the palm of your hand. Collectors also appreciate the aesthetic qualities of the 1973 Washington quarter. The portrait of George Washington has remained iconic for decades, symbolizing leadership and American heritage. The reverse eagle design is bold and detailed, embodying strength and national pride. Coins that retain their full details, with no loss of luster or sharpness, are extremely desirable. Even subtle variations, such as proof-like surfaces or striking anomalies, can dramatically increase a coin's collectability. Scarcity is another key factor driving the value of the 1973 Washington quarter. While millions were produced for circulation, few have survived decades in pristine condition. Coins that have been carefully preserved, especially those with unique errors or exceptional details, are extremely rare. This scarcity, combined with historical significance and visual appeal, makes certain 1973 Washington quarters highly prized by collectors and investors alike. So, why is this coin particularly special in today's market? It's the combination of rarity, condition, potential minting errors, historical context, and aesthetic appeal that makes the 1973 Washington quarter a true gem in any collection. A top-quality, error-free, or uniquely struck coin from this year can command an extraordinary market value of $70,000, making it a must-have for serious numismatists. If you enjoyed this deep dive into the 1973 Washington quarter, make sure to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and hit the notification bell so you never miss another coin story. Remember, every coin has a story to tell, and even one that seems ordinary can hold extraordinary value when you know what to look for. Happy collecting, and may your next coin hunt uncover something truly remarkable.